The Vanishing Strangers. A chilling wind howled through the cliffs as Leona stepped off the boat onto the eerie, mist-covered island. The hotel loomed ahead, an abandoned relic from another time, its shadow casting an unsettling feeling over the group. Sam scanned his surroundings, his hands twitching nervously as he watched the fog swallow the shoreline behind them. Amira, clutching a worn leather sketchbook, lingered at the entrance, her eyes tracing the weathered hotel sign. Inside, the lobby's faded grandeur hinted at a history forgotten, the floorboards creaking under their weight. Leona noticed a strange portrait on the wall, the figure's eyes seeming to follow her as she moved. Their host, an unseen presence, had left a note: "Dinner at 8, your secrets await." At dinner, the group exchanged wary glances, each sizing up the strangers they'd be spending the weekend with. Amira's voice, soft but clear, broke the silence as she asked, "Has anyone here been to this island before?" A tense pause followed, each guest's face clouding with an uncertain familiarity. After dinner, Leona wandered the halls, a strange déjà vu nagging at her with each passing doorway. Sam inspected the dusty bookshelves in the lounge, searching for anything that might explain the eerie sense of recognition. Amira sketched by the fire, her hand moving quickly as she captured shadowy figures in the flames. Thunder rumbled outside, and the storm intensified, trapping them in isolation with no way back to the mainland. Leona found herself in a room filled with mirrors, their reflections distorting in the flickering candlelight. Suddenly, a scream echoed through the hotel, shattering the quiet and sending everyone running. They found the body in the library, sprawled across the floor, eyes wide with terror. No one recognized the victim's face, yet an unspoken dread suggested they'd met before. Sam whispered, "I feel like we knew them, somehow," his voice trembling. Leona's pulse quickened as she realized she couldn't remember why she'd come to this island. As they searched the hotel, strange symbols began appearing on the walls, painted in a dark, dried substance. Amira touched one of the symbols, her fingers leaving faint marks as if the paint hadn't yet dried. The power flickered, and the hotel was plunged into darkness, forcing them to rely on flickering candlelight. In the shadows, a cold whisper seemed to drift past, barely audible yet unmistakable. Leona felt a sudden flash of memory, a face, a voice, but it slipped away before she could grasp it. Each guest, now suspicious of the others, began to recall fragments of a connection to the victim. Sam unearthed a letter in his room, the ink faded but clearly addressed to him by name. The letter mentioned a debt, an obligation tied to a night he couldn't fully remember. Amira dreamed of a night filled with laughter and shadows, though she couldn't recall where or when. In her dream, the victim's face loomed close, pleading with her for reasons she didn't understand. Leona began piecing together clues, her skills as an investigator awakening with each new memory. As they searched the grounds, they discovered an old shed containing dusty photo albums. Flipping through, Leona found a group picture, all of them together, including the victim. The discovery jolted them, as none recalled ever meeting each other before this trip. Sam grew pale as he spotted a scar on the victim's arm that triggered a buried memory. He remembered a heated argument, though the details slipped away like sand through fingers. The rain lashed against the windows, each gust of wind seeming to whisper their names. Amira's sketches began to reveal images of them all, linked in dark, twisted scenes. Leona stared at the drawings, her mind racing to understand the shared history they'd forgotten. Sam noticed a coded message scrawled on a wall, barely visible, hinting at betrayal and revenge. That night, another guest vanished, leaving behind only a blood-streaked trail leading outside. Panic set in as they realized they were being hunted by someone who knew them well. Amira confessed that she'd come to the island after receiving a mysterious invitation. Each revealed they'd received similar invites, all signed by a name they couldn't remember. Leona's mind raced as she uncovered fragments of a shared conspiracy among them. Sam and Amira admitted to knowing the victim but couldn't recall why or how deeply. Memories surfaced of a pact they'd made, though none could remember the reason. Leona discovered a journal in the victim's room, detailing plans to lure them all here. The journal hinted at a twisted plot involving memory manipulation and shared guilt. Their host remained elusive, each clue hinting they were more than a mere stranger. Leona realized the host was the mastermind, pulling strings to keep them in the dark. Sam deciphered the coded message, which warned of a betrayal that still hadn't been avenged. Leona pieced together that their host had erased their memories to control them. As dawn approached, they gathered, each memory slowly returning in pieces. They were all connected to the victim's downfall in ways that blurred lines of guilt. With a final confrontation, they outwitted their host, revealing the truth in a climactic twist. The killer's identity was finally uncovered, a familiar face hiding behind a mask of lies. Shaken, they escaped the island, forever changed by the horrors they'd unearthed. The boat took them back to the mainland, each haunted by memories they wished to forget.